Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining to another episode of Social Chat. My name is Oscar Gonzalez, at Not a Grouch, and I have Allison
Hi.
Stripling on the line.
Hello,
And
at Allison Stripling, which, as we're going to come to find out, is really boring. It's not as really exciting as at Not a Grouch. So.
Well, it's very, very used, so that's good. There's no doubt about who you're talking to, right?
That's true.
So,
no doubt.
Boring is subjective, I guess, but it's really more about your branding. So you're branding yourself with your own name. So in my case, I had my name is taken, so I couldn't use Oscar Gonzalez. So I had to play on that. So,
but we'll find out more about that later. Or you can watch Oscar's videos.
Yes. If you haven't seen, I started a social media training program for Twitter, and we're going to cover Facebook as well and Google+. It's all on YouTube at Oscar Steck, so you just have to go to youtube.com/Oscar Steck. In fact, we're going to talk about Facebook today. Part of the first few episodes you'll see about Facebook are about covering your, creating your account, and we cover all the stuff about creating your profile, what goes into where, and Allison's going to tell us a little bit about that today, as well as timeline. So, Allison, why don't you tell us what are some of the tips and tricks to create a successful or effective profile on Facebook?
Well, I think it's important to understand that when you see a new timeline where your profile used to be,
well, why don't you tell us what timeline is then?
Okay.
Really quick.
Well, timeline is the new Facebook profile, basically, and it shows your cover photo up front. It shows who you are, what you choose to portray in a photo, and it's really nicely laid out by Facebook, and it's kind of a way to see exactly who you are at a glance on Facebook, and that's the way Facebook wanted it to be. It's more about not as so much of user growth anymore, because obviously Facebook has hit huge numbers, but it's more about sharing. And so I guess their philosophy is having your profile, whoever you are, at a glance on your timeline. So it's a lot easier to see with a huge cover photo and the way it's laid out on both sides. And you can scroll through and see your entire life on Facebook if you want to, and you can insert photos wherever you want. That's timeline. So
okay.
If if beginners are confused about it, it just takes a little time to get used to. That's
okay.
all.
I'm looking at your timeline right now. It's pretty cool. I like that picture that you put up there. So it says Allison Stripling, digital marketing, and all your icons are there. But we can't make an image that you can click on, right? Right now, like you couldn't put. Can you make those icons be clickable?
I wish you could, but right now I don't think you can.
So you can't right now. I wonder if they're ever going to make that available.
That would be pretty awesome.
That would be pretty cool. But yeah. I also have a feeling that if they allow that, then they would have to allow certain things to happen, which might turn Facebook into MySpace kind of thing.
Yeah.
I want to put a little flashy GIF over here and a little
animated something or other.
Yeah, but so I like timeline. I really like the layout. I like that you can showcase a really cool photo at the top. And I've seen a lot of people like you put not only a cool picture, but a bit of a message about that shows what you're about. So that's pretty cool. So that's timeline. So now, how does that translate to my profile? So I have over here open my assistant's profile page, and for the sake of my tutorials and my classes and our discussion today, I erased all the information on her profile. So why don't you tell me, yes, Bernice, why don't you tell me what are some of the most important fields that I need to fill out if I want to use Facebook for my business?
Okay, well, I think it's important to understand that people will always look at your profile picture up front and start from, just as you read, people will look at your photo in the left-hand corner and then look at, of course, your name, because they looked you up,
sure.
And your works at, or widget tester at, and your profile about where you went to school and all that information. and then scroll down to your wall, your info, your photos, your friends, that sort of thing. And so
hours.
you'll start at the left-hand corner and kind of move down towards the bottom right. So I think that's important to understand that
So
most people do that.
that's how somebody coming to your profile kind of flows through it.
Right,
So look at
exactly.
the picture, name, and then your info that shows, what is it, 1 or 2 lines right below your name, right?
Right.
So it's safe to say then as a person creating a profile, you want to find out where those fields are and really pay attention to that, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there something that you would not put on your Facebook profile when you're thinking about privacy or those kind of things? Or, and this is something I talked about in the radio yesterday, my advice from my perspective was to not worry about that stuff, but actually use the Facebook privacy settings. So what's your take on that? Should you not put information that you want to keep private, or should you put it out there for your friends to see, but control your privacy settings? How do you feel about
Well, the second way, I think. I have my information down as far as, I never put my address on
it?
any
Okay.
of my profiles. But of course, I'll put like what city I live in, and I'll put my phone number on my profile, but only to friends and not of friends and friends, just
Okay.
friends.
And for anybody that's watching, Friends of Friends is actually a setting that you have. So you have several levels, right, of privacy settings.
Right.
So what are do we have? We have public, which is anybody can see it. They don't even need to be on Facebook, right?
Right.
They can just go to the Facebook page without even having an account, and they can see that information. Then you have Friends of Friends. Is that the next level in?
Now I'm looking for it. And actually on timeline, it's in a different spot. So you'd click about underneath your cover photo,
Okay.
and then you would see where your information is. So,
Okay. So how do you? Okay, and we'll come back to the levels of different settings. But I know that there's where you can have it private to only yourself. Then you can have settings for you can share with specific people, right? You can say,
right,
I want to share just with Allison and Joe. And then there's a further one where you can share with a whole group, correct?
right, exactly. Public, friends, and custom. Sorry, it's
Right.
right underneath the little
Okay.
arrow top left.
So yeah, in short, it's like you said, public,
Yeah,
friends, and custom. And the custom one lets you do individuals or a group that you've created, correct?
exactly.
Okay, so you would take the approach where fill in as much information as possible without maybe revealing your real address, for example,
Hmm.
and then just control how that information is viewed by others with your privacy settings, right?
Right. Is that how you do it? Or
That's
you
how I do it. But to be honest, on my end of it, I don't really have a lot of private information on Facebook. So people can find my phone number, my website, the city I live in, and from then they can find my information. So I don't put, like I don't put my home address. So I'm not too concerned with information that's out there. In fact, I want people to find me by my interests or by my hobbies, by my
Right.
business.
That makes sense.
So for the most part, I put everything I put up there. It's either friends of friends or public. Uh, if I go to a party and it's like a private event with just a group of friends, then if I put pictures, for example, those will be just for that group because, I just don't want to force anybody to share their life through my pictures, even though they're my pictures, right?
So that's interesting. So when you take pictures at a party, you post them private or you post them just to that group that you're in?
It depends, yes. I mean, for example, I went to a party recently where people know that I'm all over social media, so I got a few little warnings like, hey, I don't want this on Facebook, I don't want this and that. And I totally respect that. So what I did was I created a small group because the same people that told me I don't want to see these pictures on Facebook and stuff, they still want to see my pictures because they like that I take pictures and that way they don't have to worry about them. And
Right.
I don't mind being the photo guy walking around taking photos. So what I did is I put everybody that's on Facebook that was at the party into a group and I share pictures just with them. So nobody else sees them and it works out because I still have to reassure them that this is only for them, and
Right.
people are still a little bit hesitant because they think, well, I'm seeing them on Facebook, so my friend must be able to see them.
Well, and when you're the recipient of that, you can't tell that you've posted it private or to a
Right.
certain group, can
I
you? Yeah, I know.
I don't think you
Which
can.
bugs me.
It does. It's kind of irritating because it should be very clear right there, something that says only you can see this, or only you and this people can see this.
Right. I
Something that
wish.
would indicate that would really help Facebook, to Facebook has a bad reputation for botching privacy stuff. So it would really help them if they implemented something like that.
Right.
So yeah, I do post things to just a few people at a time sometimes, but for the most part, I would say over 90% of the stuff I post goes to public.
Okay.
Especially if it's related to my business. If I'm posting something about one of my YouTube videos, something about a blog, then it goes into public. And I also have my Facebook page, business page, which we'll talk about another time. But
Right. And if you get a picture posted to your wall, you could always delete out of that picture. You can always untag yourself.
right,
So
and you can also on your privacy settings, you can also request that you are not allowed to be tagged by others without approval, right? So
there
that's
you
kind
go.
of good. Okay, so before we finish up here, because we're running out of time, how do I activate timeline? So if I'm over here at my account, my assistant's profile, how do I turn on timeline for her?
Okay. So since I can't see what you're doing over there,
Sure.
um,
Well, let me share my desktop with you.
okay.
So I'll share the
So
screen, so you won't be able to see my mug anymore.
okay.
So here it is.
Okay.
So I go to facebook.com, then
/about
about
and /timeline.
timeline. Okay, so you just type that into your address once you're logged in and hit enter. All right. And so that
See a little
introduces.
video.
Okay, so there's a video that explains it all.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll down, tells you a little bit more. So this is like an ideal sample timeline for somebody. So this is what yours might look like at some point, right? And am I going to see like try it now? Okay, so at the very bottom there's a get timeline, right?
Right.
So that I just click on that. Okay, so I can take a tour now. So I've
Really?
activated it. So what?
Oh, I said it's really easy.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that they have problems with it, and I'm not sure why. I activated mine without a hitch. But some people say that they can't or they gave up on it because it wasn't working.
Oh.
And there's a message right here that actually everybody is going to be on timeline after January 26th. So
Okay. It's a magic day.
yeah, that's a magic date. And if you don't want to wait, turn it on today. But if you'd rather wait, just let it happen, I guess.
Embrace change.
Yes, change is good.
Which is good.
So what you can do here, the first thing is to add a picture. So click on add cover. I'm going to upload a photo that I already selected. I have it on my desktop. So let's find that.
What interests does Bernice have?
I'm not sure. I'd have to ask her.
Okay.
I'll do that another time.
All right.
But actually, I thought I had a picture. I don't. Let me see if I can just pull one up real quick. After
I think it's fun. I think a lot of people change their cover photo often,
yeah,
which is really fun because
I try to change mine every couple of days, and I actually have an album with about 30 photos, and the album is private, so I don't want people to kind of look at the photos before, but I'll go in and change it every so often, just to make it interesting.
right.
I'll have to show this at another time because I don't have a photo, but this is what timeline looks like. You see your friends and you see kind of what's going on, and on the top right over here, what I like about it is the years and the events that you can go to right away. So from my perspective, that is one of my favorite things about timeline, that it really makes it easy to go back in time and see what was happening like last year or the year before. And something I discovered that was really cool is that you can actually add any custom event to any
Yep.
point in time. And I believe that Facebook actually automatically picks out stuff from your profile and fills it in. So if you say that you went to school, and you graduated in, I don't know, 1992, I think it adds it automatically. and then you can go in and add photos if you wanted to. But you can go back in time and add an event. Maybe when you got married, maybe when when you had your firstborn, or when you moved to California, or when you moved out of the country, or whatever, and you can add that.
Yeah, huge life events.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. You can look at it as, you know, your online digital scrapbook.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of women who did the old scrapbooking, and now they're into digital scrapbooking, and it's just really cool. So you can scroll down really quickly and easily. And before, you'd always hit that bottom gray bar that said, "Do you want to continue?" And you kept hitting that bar to find out more about somebody's life.
Right, and then
Yeah,
you just keep loading and loading, and you have to go through pages of that.
Yeah.
And then if you close your browser or something, then you have to start all over.
I know. If you click on something, you click back.
You're like, oh no, another 18 clicks to get to last year's comments.
Not that I check out everybody, but
Sure.
you know, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I admit.
I think it's fun, and then even for yourself, you know, I've gone back to my timeline and just kind of reminded me of what I was doing at the time. You know, oh, you know, what was happening here, and I can see some of my comments, and sometimes they're really goofy comments. I'm like, what was I thinking? But then other times, it's like, oh, that's right, we were working on that project, and you know, I want to see how that turned out at the end. You know, 2 years later or something, and it's really, really neat to do that.
Have you added any pictures
To the past?
Uh-huh.
No, I haven't. But I've been collecting some pictures that are only printed, so I want to scan them in and put them in, but I have not.
Okay, all right.
But I might.
Well, I was doing some searches and I saw this website called socialsafe.com.
Okay.
And then also, what was that website that you could see your whole back history of photos and friends?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Facebook apps. Let me talk about
it. It's
it.
like an archive.
It's called archivedbook.com,
Yeah.
I believe. I just do a search. It's either, yes, archivedbook.com. So they were really doing the Facebook timeline, so to speak, way before Facebook came out with it. But they do it differently, and it's really cool because it uses your permissions on your Facebook account to let you into. Bernice doesn't have a lot of stuff, so I would have to log in with mine. In fact, let me do that so people can see this because it's really, really cool. I was actually a little bummed out when Timeline came out because I think Timeline is an archive book killer. It's just...
I know.
It's almost like, why do you need an archive book at this point? But I still like the way that they do it, and that they display things, and especially the photos. So if you go to Archive Book, and you authorize your profile. Yeah, go on.
Okay. I was just going to ask, have you, does Archive Books save your profile?
I'm not sure. It seems like every time I go to it, it takes a little while to load and do stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that it doesn't cache anything and it doesn't save much. So, yeah. So see, from here I can pick. Oh, I'm not sharing my desktop. Let me share that again.
Okay.
So
I'm downloading mine. So.
Okay. So once you log on to Archive Book and you authorize it, you can click on, for example, a friend here. So I'm going to try to find Allison here. So it's by last name, even though you see the first name. So let's see, Allison Stripling towards the bottom. So I can click on Allison Stripling, for example, and Archive Book is then going to show me all their stuff, their status and photos and stuff. So it's really, really neat. It takes a little while to load, but you can really see at a glance all the stuff about somebody. And what's different from Timeline and Archive Book is that Timeline gives you everything for a period of time. So you can go, for example, to March of 2008 and see everything that was going on at that time. Archive Book lets you sort by type of update. So I can see, I want to see the post only, or I want to see just videos or just pictures. So that's one of the main differences. It's taking a little while to load, so I'm not going to hold up. But yeah, if you guys want to try Archive Book, just go to archivebook.com when you're logged into Facebook, and then let it kind of crawl your account. And from the left-hand side right here, you pick the friend that you want to look at, and then you can go to their wall, status, photos, and
Yeah.
okay. So here's my photos finally came out, and so you
Yeah.
can see 2008 when I first started posting photos on Facebook, um, and then it just goes on and about different events. And if you go on the timeline and you,
I think it's really cool because
yeah, go on.
go ahead.
No, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if if you've ever done a lot of blogging, which I know you have, and I always used to see those different, like those different photo books that you can make of your blogger account, or if you've blogged on Typepad, they have those books that you can order that'll download your blogger account into a book, an
Sure.
actual physical book that you could print and you could, just have on your bookshelf for later. You can show your kids or what have you. So I always thought that was cool, but this is really cool too, because then you'll have your profile. If you want to save it, you can. It's like, you know, I wish they started when I was younger. I wish Facebook was here a whole lot long ago.
Sure.
'Cause then I wouldn't have to, make all these photo books that I made
Sure.
my
What
life. I have a bunch of those.
what has been like what have you gotten out of Facebook? I mean, you said I wish that it would have been there when I was younger. So why? Like what are you doing now that you wish you could have done back then, or why do you say that?
Oh, just well, I think you're either one or the other. You're either one of those persons that don't want to connect with people that really don't care about the past and that just want to move forward in life and don't care about the glory days or whatever. And then or you're the other type of person who loves to connect with people and wants to carry your name and phone number and address around forever and ever. Like I've got Christmas cards since I don't know 10, 12 years ago that I still have,
Oh, okay. So you
and
like to
I
keep
grew up.
momentous and
So,
stuff like
right.
that.
So I'm one of those. Like my sister is something different. She's on Facebook, but she never is on Facebook, and she has 12 friends. And I'm the opposite end, which I want to connect with everybody.
Got it.
So I
Okay.
think it's created that online profile where I could just it's kind of my life on Facebook. I put pictures of my kids, videos of my kids, and
Sure.
what I'm doing. And I don't do everything though. Like if a football game is going on, I don't like woohoo every
You don't
time.
woohoo? Well, for
Well,
those of you that woohoo,
but I see a lot of that. So,
okay,
different people use it for different things.
all right. No, that's cool. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say, Facebook is really great because they've connected with long lost friends, and also, just keeping in touch. We're getting so much, and we're doing so much. People are traveling a lot more than ever before, um, and you just can't keep up with all that. But if you go to a new country or a new city or something, and you just post a few things, then you can tell all your friends about it. And
Right.
yeah,
But watch out because I have read reports that Facebook has been named in 4 out of 5 divorce cases. So watch out.
wow. So meaning, well, yeah. I mean, I guess that's a lot of times people settle for their partner, or they say, this is the best it's gonna be, and then Facebook comes along and says, hey, here's your long lost, high school sweetheart or
It
whatever.
affects people.
What?
That's all it does. Yeah.
Sure,
And
I've heard of some of those, but I think that Facebook, of course, is getting the blame for that, but it really is just a channel where that's being facilitated. But I think if we were to put any other system in place that made those connections available, then that would just happen. Is those people maybe have the attraction between them where it just happens like, hey, that's you know we lost touch because of whatever, and Facebook just brought them back together. But
right.
Facebook gets a bad rap for being like, the home wrecker, but it's not. It's that person that made that choice
It
one way
does.
or
It's
another.
just technology. That's
Yes.
all it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at like Chris's pictures right now. Chris
And there's some funny pictures in there.
Well, he's a busy guy. He's really, really, yeah, he's got very interesting pictures all the time. He goes
That's
to a lot of
amazing.
events. He knows a lot of people. He looks like a lot of fun. So, um, but
Thank
this
you,
is what
Chris.
Time Archive Book does. It lets you just browse through and creep through other people's pictures. So
Become closer to them through their
yes,
pictures.
let me stop sharing
Okay.
this, and we will close with
Okay.
yeah. So, thanks everybody for watching. We hope that you found this useful. We try to do this every week, and we talk about all kinds of social media news, issues, concerns, questions. If you have any questions for us that you want us to cover, send them to questions@oscarstech.com, or find us on Twitter. You can find me at NotAGrouch. You can find Allison at Allison Stripling. You'll find information about this video in the description, and also we usually publish notes, so you don't even have to take your own notes. You can just use ours. We'll have the links of any website that we talked about and stuff like that. We really hope you enjoyed it. Leave us a comment and let us know what you want to see next time. Allison, do you have any closing words?
You said it all.
Well, okay.
You're really good at explaining things. That's what I was going to tell everybody. You're really good at explaining things.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Let me, yeah. So, yeah. The next episode we're going to be talking about Twitter, and, join us. It should be posted shortly after this. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.